Hi, my name's Mark, and today I'm with Gareth. And Gareth has got a place in Rugby that he's doing. Well, what type of deal are you doing, Gareth? What is it?
It's called an assisted sale. So I've got control of the property on a contract with the vendor, but I haven't had to purchase it.
And what are the kind of numbers on the deal? What do you think how does it work?
Well, basically, before you write the contracts, you agree what's called an option price or a strike price with the vendor that they're happy with in order to get what they need from the property. And you need to ensure that you've got a decent margin between that and what you think the market value is going to be. And if those numbers make sense, then you go ahead.
And you make profit, right?
Yep.
And so what's the profit sort of level?
You should be looking sort of around 20,000 minimum if it's a fairly light refurb. If it's major works, then obviously you need to increase that number because it's going to take longer. But on a light refurb, for it to be worth doing, especially at the moment, I would say sort of 20 grand profit is minimum.
Got it. So what did you do downstairs? What sort of work have you done downstairs?
So downstairs we had a little bit of a damp issue. It's a 100-year-old property, so it's solid walls, double thickness brick walls, which meant we had some of the plaster coming off, and so we had to remove that and let it dry out. Then we had to tank those walls to make sure that the same didn't happen again for the next owners. Let that go off. Now we've just put cement render and skimmed the other rooms with plaster, and the plasterers are coming tomorrow to finish that job off of skimming the whole downstairs with plaster. And I've plastered the kitchen, taken off wallpaper. We stripped all of that off beforehand, and we're going to redo the original floor. So it's got a beautiful original tiled floor downstairs. So we're going to bring that back to life as well.
I've seen the floor, and that's a proper floor. It's blooming brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good find. That looks stunning with a good carpet on the stairs. So what have you done upstairs? What's the upstairs work?
Well, today we've just been doing the staircase. So I uncovered the original staircase because this we can see the spindles now, but as was the fashion sort of back in the 60s and 70s, people would cover this with hardboard. So this was completely covered, and that doesn't let the light through. And kind of made the place feel a bit pokey. So I've taken that off and found the original spindles. There were a few missing, so I went and found a join and we replaced those. And then with a bit of kind help today, we've put an undercoat on the stairs ready for glossing. And we've plastered some of the rooms upstairs. Some of the rooms are in a pretty okay condition already. We boarded and skimmed the landing ceiling because that had polystyrene tiles, which are totally illegal these days and a fire hazard. So I took those off with my tried and trusted spade method, which means you don't have to use the ladders over the stairs. And then the builders boarded it and skimmed it in a day, basically. And the bathroom we're stripping out and replacing the old shower with a bath.
Brilliant. So all the other rooms are actually pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, it's fairly good. I mean, it's got some nice original features with the picture rails, and it means that you only really have to work from the picture rails down because the ceilings are fairly solid. I think they've been done in the not too distant past. There was a bit of work in the roof as well to do, a couple of holes which we filled upstairs in the loft. Apart from that, these old places are pretty solid, so it was good bones to start with.
Brilliant. So what would you, if someone's sitting on the fence wondering whether to get into doing this sort of deal, what would you say to them?
I would say,
Be honest.
I would say, don't jump in if you don't do your homework. You need to know your area. This is a funny one. This is a detached house in an area where there aren't really any detached houses, which means if you're looking to compare it, values to see if there's any profit in it, you need to know what this type of property is worth in a bigger kind of radius, and then see what's going for it, what's its advantages, what's its disadvantages. Do your homework really, and be happy that you've got the right number, because if you buy at the wrong number, then you're never going to make any money.
Brilliant. So research.
Do your research, but it's a good way of doing it because you don't have to finance, you don't have to raise finance, you don't have to raise a deposit, you don't have any stamp duty to pay, so it's a nice little strategy. They're not probably the most common deals to find, but they're very, very worthwhile because you don't have all those upfront costs.
Brilliant. Well, good luck with the deal. Good luck with the sale when you get on. But how long's left before you finish?
Fingers crossed. In a normal market, I would have said sort of 2-3 weeks, but there's a slight hiccup at the moment, which is trades are very hard to come by, so that's maybe going to extend that to sort of 5-6 weeks maybe. But we'll start marketing before we're completely finished anyway, so let's say 4 weeks.
4 weeks, brilliant. Well, good luck with the sale. I hope you get the numbers you need, and on to the next one, eh?
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Gareth.